Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday, guys and girls. Bitcoin is currently trading at $117,849.01. Are you ready? Because today we have a very special guest. Not to mention the daily close contest. So smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications. And join the Discord, linked in the description. Today, we make history by doing the same exact thing that we did yesterday, but approximately 24 hours later. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? All right. Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As I said earlier, happy Tuesday. How's everyone doing today? Let's get the webcam on. Oh, I almost celebrated without turning it on. Hey! What if I said about 21 hours later? It would be... Maybe we're doing the same thing that we were doing at 7:20 p.m. EST yesterday. You don't know what I was talking about. Alright, guys. What's going on, Fahid? What's going on, Waterfly? What's going on, Tom Select Scout? Let me make sure I'm on live chat in both my windows. We are golden. Do I look extra pale? The light's supposed to make me look not pale. That's super pale. That's like orange. Is that orange? Maybe that's what I need to be doing. That seems a little orange to me. This is supposed to be like the mix. Who cares? Alright. HQZ said hello. What's going on, HQZ? Guys, Bitcoin's at 117,899.99. Looking good. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map before we do anything. First thing we got, we have been trading in a very peculiar range. We got 116,700. Waterfly said you were jerk. Waterfly, I think you tuned into the wrong live stream. 116,264. That's a big boy right there. Make that a thick one. And a little bit thicker. I'll make it a 4. And then we got one more to the downside. 115,915. That one's a regular size. And then up top, we got 118,269. And then above that, we got, I'll go for the tall one, 119,053. And then in the middle, we got the thick boy at 118,618. Cool. And that's the thick boy. All right, these are our liquidation points. Let's zoom in a little bit. Bitcoin kind of ranging between the two that we had yesterday. Or if I said, gotta take my meds. Tom Salkscoat said, go with orange. It works for Trump. That's true. That is true. Maybe I need my own color. Maybe the pale blue is my color. The blue guy. The blue man group. Crap. Maybe that's copyright infringement. I gotta figure out a new color. All right, guys, Bitcoin dominance 61.47. We did get a bounce off of about like 60.7, 60.8. Broke right back above 61.08. Currently at 61.48. I would love to see it reject 62. Right now it's lingering. I'm not going to call this a rejection at all because it could just as easily just continue to the upside. But if we do reject, then cool. Great. I would love for this to just be a downtrend. even if it's shallow, you know, eventually it will more than likely start to curl down a little more dramatically as alt season kicks off. But we'll see. Right now, like I said, we're probably looking for some upside out of Bitcoin dominance. And hopefully a rejection at 62. Ethereum down 0.15% on the day, currently trading at 37.92. Having trouble getting above 39, it looks. 4K, there's apparently a bunch of liquidations, a bunch of liquidations that could happen if we hit 4K. A bunch of bears that would get liquidated if we hit 4K. So 4K ETH is kind of the target, regardless of whether or not you like ETH. We don't like bears universally. You can trade and short and make money and whatever, but if you're just a bear, if you consider yourself a bear, you're kind of a bad person because you are subconsciously and consciously wanting the price to go down longer term, which is mean. I'm literally like starting a cult, a bull market cult. Dixie said, "Is this the new morning stream?" Yeah. Maybe in California. What time is it there? Noon. What's going on, Dixie? Opti stopped by the stream last night. That was pretty cool. Unverified said, "When does the green stuff on the screen make the number go higher happen?" That is up to the market maker. Billy said, "Hi kids." What's going on, Billy? Tom Selleck said, "Peas are like the guy who plays the no pass line on craps." Oh, bears. Bears are like the guy who plays the no craps line. No pass line. I can't speak again or read. Let's just move on. Sol is getting a bounce off of our purple trend line. Nice wicks off of that purple trend line. So there is some buy pressure here, which is good. We are currently sitting below 184 though. We'll see if we can get back above that. RSI, we kind of got... Actually, there's nothing. I was going to say bearish dip, but there is no bearish dip. We did cross bearish over our moving average, which we talked about yesterday, the RSI moving average. And we got a bounce off 184 and then a break below. Is it going to come back for a retest? And then continuation? Maybe a break, retest, and then continuation? We'll see. Waterfly said, "Love playing craps." I've never been to the casino. Do you guys believe me? Maybe that's why I'm so obsessed with crypto. Because I've never been to a casino. I love gambling. I gamble like peer-to-peer gambling, the illegal kind. I participate in frequently, but I guess not as frequently. I used to gamble a lot when I was younger. Whatever the statute of limitations is was the last time I gambled. All right. So yeah, Sol, we're looking for either a break of 184 or to lose this purple support. If we do lose that purple support, then 167 should be in the cards. Our midpoint still in play, 174, 175. Dixie said, "I'm playing craps for the first time next week in Vegas." Tip for me? Don't lose. It's really easy. Total 3. So total 3 getting a nice bounce off of 1 trillion. Currently sitting at 1.04. We seem to have gotten our rejection at 1.07 like we've been observing. We got a little bounce off of 1.02. Couldn't quite gain any momentum, so it's continued to the downside. Currently sitting at 1.01, which we bounced off of 1, which is great. If we lose 1, it's going to get a little dicey, and we don't want to get a little dicey. But we could. If we do lose 1, though, look for 939 with the potential midpoint reaction at 969. Waterfly said, "Tip, start slow and tell dealers first time. They will help. Tip them when you hit." Tom Selleck said, "Craps is definitely my favorite game to play in Vegas." All right. ADA is down 1.41. Ooh, ADA kind of getting shafted compared to the other top alts. Down 1.41%, currently trading at 78.20. Dixie said, "I'll have to watch some YouTube tutorials. See if you can leverage AI as well. Comp cards and stuff like that." But yeah, ADA down 1.4%, currently trading at 78.20. We got a break below 82 currently sitting at 78.20, which is kind of a midpoint, or we at least bounced off of our midpoint around 77, which is in between 80 and 74. If we continue to break down, 74 is definitely in the cards. I think that's a pretty decent support though. So we'll see how that plays out. Momentum wave almost oversold. RSI not quite. We do have bearish divergence on the RSI though. That much is very obvious. If I seem a little out of it, guys, I'm pretty sure I'm coming down with something. This is going to be my first sickness since I started streaming, which is weird because I don't get sick. I get sick like once every 4 or 5 years. I think I'm sick right now. And I might be getting sick more because I quit smoking 2 years ago. I'm convinced that smoking boosted my immunity for some reason. My brain's all kind of messed up. So maybe I'll be good at math when I'm sick. SNEK is down. Oh no, SNEK is up 0.6% on the day, currently trading at 35. If we close above 35 at 161, I'll be happy. If we close below it, probably go into 30. What if I said, where are you staying, Dixie? That's a good question. XRP is up 0.28% on the day, currently trading at 313. Waterfly might be in Vegas, Dixie. Like, legit. And if you're looking for someone cool as hell to hang out with, I would highly recommend hanging out with Waterfly. XRP up 0.26% on the day, currently trading at 313, representing Detroit. We got a rejection of our blue trend line after breaking below it. Let's see. We broke below. Jeez. We broke below. Rejected. Got a double bottom on our $3 support. Trended up for a minute, sideways. Rejected one more time. Came down. We have not quite touched $3 yet. It's actually holding up very nicely. Vahid said, does Fartcoin have strong support, or am I wrecked at $1? It is a meme coin, so it's really hard to tell, but let's go take a look. I will skip ahead for you, Vahid. Fartcoin is down 5% on the day, currently trading at 109. 107 is your support currently. It did hold 114 nicely, but you also got to keep in mind, once you rejected 139, it just broke straight through 128 and 121. So your 114 support came into play. Your 107 support is kind of coming into play right now. If you do break that, then you're going to $1 for sure. But you don't want this plummet to happen again, because this is scary. When it just starts breaking through support levels like that, that's when I start getting a little diced up. Volume's a little bit low. RSI was oversold twice so far at the bottom of these moves, so, but it does keep recovering, which gives the price more room to fall down. Mortify said, LOL, I will not be in Vegas this time of year. Way too hot. I don't believe you. Pretty sure Waterfly lives in Vegas. He probably owns one of the buildings in Vegas. And he's like, oh, I would not be down there right now. It's too hot. Or maybe he isn't down there and he knows it's too hot because he owns one of the buildings. So he stays up here in a different building than he owns. Dixie said, yeah, not looking forward to that heat. Fahid said, it's Anatoly's fault. I hate him. I don't know who that is. Waterfly said, drink more water than you think you need. Dixie, it's crazy in Vegas. Do they have a water shortage in Vegas? At least, I just found out like 2 days ago that they just finished the last lead pipe in Flint, which I'm almost positive I've read 14 times in the last 8 or so years. So I'm not entirely sure I believe them, nor would I ever drink tap water in Flint anyways, or anywhere around Flint. I live like, it would probably take me an hour to get to Flint from where I live, maybe less, maybe a little bit less, like 45 minutes. I don't even drink the tap water where I live. I never have. Never. When we lived at my old house where I grew up, we had a well. I drank the well water, no problem. I will not drink tap water because they just magically, they're like, oops, we found lead. You can get a free filter. Okay, cool. Waterfly said I might own JJ's building. That would be hilarious if one of you guys was like the property owner where I live. But yeah, Fartcoin, you got your 107 support. $1 is next, and you are kind of getting to the oversold scenario on the 4-hour time frame. So HBAR is down 2.85%. You did break below your cancer curing range. It is at 26,373 right now. Your cancer curing range starts at 26, it looks like 458 maybe. So it has potential to reject here if everything continues to be slightly bearish the way that it's been. We kind of have the pre-FOMC jitters. Tomorrow we get a decision from Jerome Powell. It's probably going to be a nothing burger. There's rumors on both sides floating around. 98% are saying that there's not going to be a rate cut, including BlackRock. BlackRock kind of runs the market. But BlackRock also recently said that they should cut rates. So it is a little wishy-washy. Because if you're one of those people that believes BlackRock probably runs the world, then you might feel a little more inclined to think that they're going to cut rates because BlackRock just said that they should cut rates recently. So, one of those little conspiracy scenarios. For HBAR, if we reject the lower trend line of our little box, then we're probably heading down to at least 24. Worst case scenario, 22. No matter what, we will be in a higher low in the larger time frame. So, I feel like 22 could definitely hit and still maintain a bullish trend. So just something to keep an eye on. These pullbacks, they could happen really fast and go really low, or they could take a really long time and be more of a shallow dump. You kind of get the best of both worlds, no matter what scenario. SWE is currently down 2.28%, trading at 381.91. We bounced off of 391 for a second and couldn't quite gain any momentum, broke below. And we got a midpoint right now. It's a tight range, so midpoint's 375, not much. If we lose this, we're going to 370. If we lose 370, we're going to 353. SWE seems relatively strong for the most part, though. It is very sideways compared to other things that look a little bit dumpy. We did get a confirmed red dot way back here around 420, and we're currently sitting at 410. Nope, we're currently sitting at 381. This is deceptive. I need to change this. So we'll see what comes of it. This might be decent support. Ondo down 3.32%, currently trading at 95.93. 95.35 should be really strong support for Ondo, but we also did break below our purple trend line, which goes not that far actually. Purple trend line only has 2 points of confluence, and it only goes back to June 22nd. So hardly a month ago. Nothing crazy going on with that trend line, to be completely honest. It just exists. But if we get back above it, maybe it'll become more relevant over time. I'll leave it on the chart for sure. If we lose 95.35 90s in the cards, RSI, we got a bearish crossover our moving average on the RSI, and we're almost oversold, not quite. And the Fu Manchu momentum wave is entering oversold territory as well. Aerodrome down 4.56% on the day, currently trading at 81.6. We lost 86 support, which should have been a relatively strong support. We also had a lot of sell pressure up here. Last point that we kind of touched in the 90s. A lot of sell pressure in that 90 zone. Broke below 86. Attempted to get back above it. Rejected. Continued the downside. We're getting midpoint support right now at 80.81. If we lose that, 76 is definitely in the cards. JShear 2.0 said, "Sup family?" What's going on, JShear 2.0? Fahid said, what happens to waterflies stays in Vegas? Fahid said, Solana co-founders trash meme coins with what a stupid idiot. The guy whose entire chain is like the meme coin superhighway trash meme coins? That's weird. What a weird... Yeah, there seems to be a weird thing with that. Founders like trashing stuff on their chain. Because I think Vitalik has had a few dumb things that he said about stuff that happens on Ethereum as well. Maybe, I think that they just get so much money that they don't care anymore. Excuse me. Goodness. Guys, we've got the Bitcoin Daily Close contest coming up in approximately 12 minutes. So make sure you stick around for that. Also, don't forget to smash the like button. Yeah, error. We're sitting at our midpoint support in between 86 and 76. So if we lose that, 76 is definitely in the cards. Pinlink is up 5.27%. Currently right above 75. We're at 75.16. If we hold above that, great. 87.69 could be in the cards. Otherwise, look for 60. but we got this fake out up, fake out down, chop sideways. It's still ongoing. This is a big pattern. Big, enormous, huge pattern. You want to pay very close attention, observe this pattern. This is a pattern that you stare at for a long time. Think long and hard about this pattern. Just cement it in your mind. Very important pattern. We got a nice bounce off of our midpoint in between 60 and 75, which is around 67. Evan's coming in with a 11-minute early guess without being a channel member. What's funny though is YouTube actually let him submit the guess. 75.16 on Pinlink. Like I said, if we hold above that, 87.69 could be in the cards. Pinlink was a little bit bearish while everything else was bullish. Now it's a little bit bullish while everything else is bearish. So the tables have turned. Render is down 2.67%. Officially broke out of our enormous range. It is sitting at 394.27 right now, below $4 and below our lower trend line of our rectangle, which is around 395. If we do continue to the downside, even though we got a midpoint bounce in between $4 and 374, if we break that, then 374 is in the cards. And our worst case scenario, hopefully for some support, would be around 367 at our purple trend line. So we will see what happens there. RSI broke below the moving average and rejected and continued to the downside, kind of making like a butt cheek pattern right now. And your momentum wave is not quite oversold yet, but it is pointing to the downside. Stellar's up 0.69%. Nice on the day, currently trading at 42.21. Let's see, what do we got here? We got our M, we got our W. We've talked about that 1,000 times. We kind of traded sideways. This has that same sell wick that I think maybe Solana had, or maybe it was SWE. One of them had it. And then we tried to get up again, couldn't quite make it. No momentum. Down, down. Are we doing the butt cheek here too? Moving average. Our side broke below the moving average, rejected right here, and it's making another go at it. Evan said, I asked how to be a channel member, and your mods told me to send my social and mom's maiden name. I did, and still no channel member. I think you have to send them your the name of your first pet, and I think your best friend's name from elementary school or something like that as well. Hold on, I gotta ask them. What was the other security question you needed the answer to? Alright, I'll let you know what they say. Polkadot. Polkadot is down 1.74%, currently trading at 389. We got... What is Polkadot doing? Probably heading towards 378. If we lose 378, 333 is in the cards. RSI, ooh, bearish divergence. Polkadot has the same bearish divergence that ADA has right now. Price is down while RSI is up, signaling further downside. So keep an eye on that. I think we are in a downtrend officially. Doggy James. Yeah, if we start heading up, $4 is going to be pretty decent resistance on Polkadot. I wouldn't hold your breath though. It's looking a little sloppy. Bitcoin we went over already, so feel free to rewind and check that out. Looking for support at 107 to hold. If it breaks though, $1 is definitely in the cards. What we don't want is another one of these situations where we just blast through support zones, because that's when it gets a little too spicy. Gas is down 1.63% on the day. We had pretty immense support at 97, and we broke below that. Currently sitting at 95 or 9.5 cents. If we do find support, I guess since it's lingering, 9.4 cents should be a relatively decent support. Otherwise, 9 cents is going to be the next stop if we continue to the downside. RSI broke below the moving average and failed to get back above it right here. Kind of doing the butt cheek thing. And your momentum wave is also pointing to the downside. Avalanche is down 3.45%. We got a attempted support at 25, which failed. We're currently sitting at 24.34. Midpoint would be 24. If we lose that, 23.20 is going to be in the cards. Volume looks pretty decent. I really like Avalanche's chart, but it might continue to the downside from here. RSI looks good, no bearish div, and your momentum wave has just recently started pointing to the downside. Ooh, Evan, you are not a channel member, Evan. So, I believe, I don't know if I'd be able to do it. It's something to do with this. Yeah, you can right here, unlock members only perks right here. So you click on this little money. I don't know if you're on the phone, I can't help you. But if you're on a PC, you click on this little guy, click on memberships, and then I think you get to pick a membership tier. The 1 hour early guess is included in all tiers, so you can pick the lowest tier if you want. What if I said I will add AVAX? Yeah, I'm a fan of Avalanche. I really am. I don't know why. They recently moved up quite a bit in my top. I would call it a top 10 actually for me. Chainlink is down 1.77%. Beautiful support at 1750. We got like a triple top at 20 bucks. A rejection at 1930, 1950. A support at 18. Rejection at 18.6. Support at 1750. Evan said, I don't think I can do it on the phone. I think you can. I just don't know how to do it. I've done it before. Somewhere. I don't remember. Evan said lame. I'm pretty sure you can do it on a phone, Evan. We just need to figure it out because we don't have an iPhone, so what's his name? Tim Cook isn't trying to gargle our balls for that extra charger money because you got to buy a charger like once a week when you have an Apple device. 1778. I pressed every button. Maybe just paste your just paste your credit card number in the chat. That made my stomach hurt. Chainlink down 1.88, 1750 holding really nicely. If we break below that, look for our midpoint support right here at 16.6-ish. But it looks really good. Chainlink actually looks really good. Doge is down 1.4%, support at 21.65. We're currently sitting at 22.29. If we hold above 21.65, great. Otherwise, I would just look for 20. Doge is probably going to 20 cents, not financial advice. Near is down 1.49%, sitting right above 269. Near looks very similar to Chainlink here. We got nice support happening. It hasn't dumped quite as much as everything else. Volume started to decrease a little bit, but not too crazy. Chili's is down 0.41%. Chili's also looks very similar to Near and Chainlink. We got that horizontal support holding really well at 4 cents. If we lose that, though, it's going to get pretty dicey for Chili's specifically. We will, I guess, see what plays out because we got kind of this scenario going too. That potential for these channels. So that could come into play. We'll see. It's kind of exciting when you get to call back on old patterns. Silver. I'm getting way too giggly. Silver is 38.16 at the moment. That pulse player, you are a little early, my friend. You got 4 minutes still. I will let you know in the chat when you guys can start guessing. 38.17 on silver. We seem to be lingering sideways, which is good. I like it when it holds the price versus just plummeting. So there's some hope for some upside after this. Shorter term time frame, we might have a inverse head and shoulders. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm not going to switch the chart though. Not holding my breath. Silver, 38.17. If it continues to go up, sweet. If it continues to go down, fine. MicroStrategy down 2.26%. Still on the downtrend on MicroStrategy, which it's had a sustained downtrend before. I'm still looking for a $500 target. Not financial advice. We did get to 460, so I'm not too upset right now. Trajectory is still intact for all of our predictions. We'll see what plays out. DXY getting a little bit pumpy still. NASDAQ. Ooh, NASDAQ got a little bit dumpy today. 23,330. And the S&P getting that downtrend like I talked about. Friday, we might have a bullish weekend. We'll have to wait and see. Bitcoin dominant 61.47. A little bit of a red candle at the moment. And Bitcoin 117,814 and 33 cents. Ladies and gents, we got 2 minutes remaining until the daily close contest. So make sure you guys get your guesses ready. Chance to win up to $100 every single day. So make sure you're here. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you smash the like button. Tell your friends and family. Maximize your chances of exposure. Quick portfolio update. We'll start with 1K to 10K Grok portfolio. Then we'll probably get straight into the daily close contest. This bad boy is down $53. Currently being held up by Sol, Render, ADA, Proppy, and Ondo. Being dragged down by Fetch, Doge, Near, Shib, and Aptos. At the moment, Proppy, ADA, Render, and Sol are the only coins that are in profit. The bottom 6 are now negative. First one being down $5, and so on. Lowest one, $25. Not too bad. Still down $52 though. Memecoin portfolio. All right, ladies and gents, we got less than 1 minute remaining until the daily close contest. Get your guesses ready. 1 minute time frame. Zoom in. Beautiful. Bitcoin 117,877 cents. All right. We've had 0 ranking increases. Excuse me, in like a week. Partially because I've been absent, I think, 2 separate days. But I have a life, and it's summer, so you guys hardly show up as well. Fahid, my friend, you were a little bit early. You got 12 seconds remaining. Actually, Fahid is a channel member, so he can submit it whenever the hell he wants. Ladies and gents, 5 seconds remaining. 3, 2, 1. Get your guesses in for the daily close contest. Our first entry, Fahid, coming in with a guess of 117,696 and 96 cents. Second guess, Evan, 117,808. Cheers, guys. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday, as you guys probably know, because you guys definitely memorize everything about me. Tuesday is my least favorite day of the week. I know. It's really hard for me to talk about. Tuesday sucks. Tuesdays are awful. I don't know why. Just historically, every Tuesday has been the worst day. Like the worst day of my life consistently. It's always like the day where like just enough bad things happen to where you're like, God. Then you start to notice you're like, every time I have a really bad day, it's a Tuesday. And then you hate Tuesdays. My reasoning goes a little bit beyond that. It gets a little more nuanced. Hey, Chewy has arrived. He finally ran out of money from all of his Arrow profits. His 16th house just got completed. Congratulations, Chewy. Welcome back. Tom Selleck scoped. I can't spell. 117,750. Chewy, how you been, my friend? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. 117,777, 69. Nice. But yeah, Tuesday. So Monday is the beginning of the week. You're mentally aware. I have to work 5 to 7 days. I have to work 5 to 6 days. Yes, I got you, Chewy. I got you. I have to work the entire week. Monday's day 1. I gotta work. Tuesday's not the middle. It's not the beginning. It's just a work day. It is the only a work day out of the entire week. Monday's day 1. Wednesday's the middle. Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Friday's Friday. Tuesday, it just exists. You know, you got to go to work on Tuesday and you got to go to work on Tuesday. Those are the only 2 consistent things. Everything else is whatever. Tuesday is just the most worthless, useless day. Chewy said, good, bro. Finishing up my house. Very nice. I like that. Like to hear that. That Pulse player. Coming in with 117,300. Jay Shear, guess in the Discord. Evan said, gonna buy 50 mil Bitcoin just to win. That'd be sick. Alright, we got a Discord guess from Mr. Jay Shear 2.0, 117,844, 44. Alright, Jay Shear 2.0. What the hell? 117,844, 44. I got it. Got it. Anybody else? Anybody at all? Ladies and gentlemen, get your guesses in for the daily close contest. We got approximately 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining on the clock. What if I said he doesn't really work? I almost exploded the front tires on the loader today, on the Kubota front loader. My boss is like, we got these boulders we got to get off the flatbed and into the dump trailer so that we can flatbed the Kubota to a job site. And then we're going to take... Waterfly said, anyone else see my guess? We do not see your guess, Waterfly. Try putting words in between. Or you can do it how Chewy did it with the $sign every three numbers. We got Gianix coming in with a guess. 117,650. Waterfly, you got 60 seconds remaining on the clock. So I go to move these rocks, and they look just too big for the front loader. I don't know if you guys are aware. Front loaders kind of suck at lifting stuff up. They're more for like scooping and scraping. They're not good at lifting things. And they have a very lateral lift. There you go, Waterfly. I got it now. Waterfly coming in with 117,908 cents. JA coming in with 118,800 even. I like it. I like it. Anybody else? Anybody at all? So I go to lift these rocks up. I lift the smallest one up, and I start backing up, and the whole tractor feels like it's going like this. And I'm like, what the hell? And I look, and the tire's just like, muh. It's like mush, like doing one of these. And I was like, I don't think it's supposed to look like that. All right, time's up. Is that it? Yeah, time's up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for participating. Let's get these bad boys up on the board. Bitcoin 117,929 and 56 cents. Getting a little pumpy here. Let me make this flat line first. There we go. All right. Sort by score. We got JA coming in up top. 118800. Next we got Waterfly with 117,908 cents. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Apparently he said 8 euros, but I'll take it. Waterfly currently in the lead. Next we got JSU 2.0, 117,844.44. So yeah, then the second rock was even bigger. They were like chunk rocks, even bigger. I don't know how I got that over there. I was very meticulous about it. Evan 117,808. But I did make it. The trailers are both need to be fixed, because they both like fell off of their blocks. Chewy 117,777.69. I'm glad Chewy's house is almost done. How close, Chewy? How much time you got? How much time? What's your estimated time of completion for your house? Tom Selleck Scope 117,750. And when you're done, are you going to get a home equity line of credit and donate $1,000 so that you guys can see my beautiful bald head? I'm just kidding, by the way. I just recently learned a lot about home equity lines of credit. I don't know why. There was like some random thing on X that I watched, and I was like, whoa. 696.96. Nice from Vahid. You guys got a nice tight range right here. Then we got Janix 117,650. The J names, I feel like, are making some progress. J Shear and Janix 117,300 from that pulse player. All right. Bitcoin 117,927 and 37 cents. That pulse player said, yeah, shout out to all us blue collar mother effers. World don't run without us, lol. We're going to be the last ones that the robots replace too. Which is hilarious. This has been probably the 8th time, like historically, in a big deal fashion, where I've been grateful that I dropped out of college. And I feel bad a little bit. I watched a video. This dude, he's like, I'm 58 years old, and I'm realizing that I'm probably never going to get hired again. And he's out here blaming how horrible it is to apply for jobs and stuff. And I'm like, that's not why. It's because he's going job to job, and they're not offering him enough money to be able to afford his current life. So he's like, nah, screw you guys. I know what I'm worth. And then he leaves. But that's the same guy going on X being like, well, if you just didn't go to Starbucks and didn't eat out every meal, you'd be able to afford rent. You'd be able to afford your $6K a month rent for your 900 square foot apartment with 3 children. Bitcoin 117,940 and 38 cents. We got 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining on the clock. Waterfly currently in the lead, holding the lead since we started entering the information. Waterfly said, got ghost pepper sauce on beer bottle. No bueno? Ooh, yeah, that sounds no bueno. 57 seconds remaining on the clock. Should I do a pepper challenge? I'd probably die. I'm pretty sure I have GERD and I get like heart palpitations. I'm pretty sure if I did like a spicy chip challenge, it would literally result in my death, which is insane to think about. Just that, like, this is how people who are allergic to peanut butter feel all the time. That like food can just kill you by existing. That's, I think, my life now. I still eat spicy food. I probably shouldn't, but I do. I like peppers. Bitcoin 117,950 and 76 cents. Waterfly is still in the lead. Are we going to have a last second blast or dump? Pushing him in or out? Or is his spot solidified as the victor? 117,950, 75 cents. 8 seconds remaining on the clock. Very choppy sideways flat candle. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Waterfly is the winner of the daily close. Bitcoin daily close price 117,950 and 76 cents. Congratulations, Waterfly, on your victory. Ladies and gentlemen, spam the bananas in the chat for our victor, Waterfly. Congratulations, my friend. He definitely is currently in Vegas. 117,950, 76. Congratulations, Waterfly, on your victory. Yay! Waterfly, winner. And Bitcoin getting a little bit green here as well. That's the daily close. Waterfly, I guess, 117,908. Congratulations, Mr. Waterfly. Ladies and gents, spam the bananas in the chat. All right. Let's see. Transition. Winners Google Doc. Mr. Waterfly is our victor. We do know that Mr. Waterfly is not Canadian. How many days are in July? You know what is weird to me? When people memorize each month, how many days are in each month? They're like, ugh. Like the only one that I know is February. And it's because the only one that in my brain is consistent. Everything else might be 30, might be 31. I don't think that they change, but I just can't be bothered to remember which is which. Who cares? February has its own number. Everything else, I'll look at the calendar. I'm always gonna have a calendar on me. If I don't, I probably don't need a calendar. Congratulations, Mr. Waterfly, on your victory. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a drum roll, please? The winner of today's daily close contest with a guess of 117,908 cents and an actual Bitcoin daily close of 117,950 and 76 cents, only off by $50 and some change, maybe a little bit less, $49 and some change. On July 29th, 2025, Waterfly's prize is a fried pickle. Congratulations, Waterfly, on your victory. I would recommend picking up some marinara, maybe some ranch for this. You are welcome to share it with a friend. There's not much to it though, but it is very delicious. Highly recommend you do consume it. Whatever you do, you are legally obligated to remove it from the premises. Congratulations once again on your victory. You've earned it. Wait a minute, did you know that? What's the delay here? Did he know that there was a fried pickle? The heat said, are we going to dump now? I don't know. That's a great question. We got the pre-FOMC jitters. We got a lot of news coming out this week. Let me actually pull up the old guy. Waterfly said you can divide that up, give everyone here a piece. That is up to you, my friend. I am no longer allowed to touch it. It does not belong to me. I can give you a knife, though. But I'm going to need it back. We don't have a big budget here. All right, let me see. Let me find the news, because there's a big list of news that's coming out this week. And I don't think any of it's really come out yet. Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? Please let today be Tuesday. Oh, thank God. I was like, I hope it's not Monday. Flexa said, my bad, was watching that Megan 2.0. Was alright. AI is scary. Evan Pickle said, Pickle is my nickname, but he spelled Nick N-I-C like nicotine. Evan has a nicotine name. He's one of those guys. Drummer said, I only get notifications when it's not daily close, lol. What if I said, you giving me knife, bad idea? We'll give you one of those things where you just lower it and then it chops them all into pieces. I think they use them for hard-boiled eggs. You can just jam the pickle in there and, like, smash it down. It'll probably rip it apart, but who cares? All right, let's see. I'm trying to find this news thing so that here we go. This week, Tuesday, which was today, we had CB consumer confidence data and June JOLTS job openings data. Wednesday, we have Q2 2025 GDP data, Fed meeting and interest rate decision. Thursday, we have June PCE inflation data. Friday, we have July jobs report. That's basically it. If you guys are interested, take a screenshot of this or something if you need to reference it. It's great data. We already had Tuesdays gone, so I don't think there's any further data coming out after 8 p.m., but who knows. Tomorrow, we got Q2 2025 GDP and FOMC decision. And then Thursday, PCE inflation data. Friday, July jobs report. All right, ladies and gents, congratulations, Waterfly, once again on your victory. We got some news articles to go through. Before we do that, let's go through our Memecoin portfolio. In profit, $28. The SNEK has officially flipped Giga and has held that position relatively firmly. It is now almost, it is $16 ahead of Giga, which is exciting. It is only $42 short of being break even again. Doge is down $10. Pepe is in profit $41, and Whip is in profit $94, losing that 50% gain, but still far ahead in the Memecoin portfolio. Drummer said, "Yep, I read that." Evan said, "Oh shoot, payroll." Flexa said, "DCA'd some dips, expecting more dip." Yep. Yeah, this is a dip for Ant so far. Next, we got our narrative portfolio, my favorite and the most steady, stable portfolio so far. Currently in profit, $117.63. This portfolio is made up of one meme coin, one artificial intelligence coin, one real-world asset coin, one decentralized physical infrastructure coin, and one gaming coin, and it is absolutely killing it. Currently, VeChain is the only asset that is negative. It is down about $8. Decentraland is in profit $8, canceling out VeChain's loss. Fetch is in profit 20, Tao's in profit 31, and Pepe's in profit 64, bringing our total profit up to $117.51. Looking good. And then we got our perfect entry portfolio, which we're probably going to wait for because I think we got more downside. We'll see what comes of tomorrow. If tomorrow is eventful and we get a decent push down, we'll probably do a vote and add another asset to the perfect entry portfolio. If you guys have not been here for that, I just have you guys, I say go, and we get a submission, one per person, the first 4 coins mentioned in the chat. 4 different people, 4 different coins are what we put into the poll, and you guys vote. Last one added was Ethereum, which is down, and Render is down. Those are the only 2 that are down. Render's down $5, Ethereum is down $3, Sol is in profit 55 cents, Chainlink's in profit $17, and Sui is in profit $23. The concept of this portfolio is that we are on the brink of alt season. We have not quite had it happen yet. So the idea is that if you had built this portfolio, started building it the day that we started building it, which was like a week or 2 ago, then that was the perfect entry, meaning you didn't have to sit through 4 or 5 years of bear market downtrend, boring, miserable, like mind-numbing nothingness. And you could have just bought at that specific date, and we'll see how it performs by comparison to the Grok portfolio, the Memecoin portfolio, and the narrative portfolio. But so far, it's actually doing really, really good, and it seems like a decent portfolio. A lot of blue chips. Render, I think, is the first one that's in there that's not quite blue chip, but it's still pretty close. But yeah, see how everything turns out. So far, so good. Next, we got news. Let's look at Bitcoin really quick. 117,811 and 42 cents. We are sitting right in the middle of our liquidation points, which is interesting. It's very much weekend price action right now, but it is a Tuesday, so we don't even get the joy of the weekend. We just have to suffer through the weekend price action without actually having time off work. Next, this one, I guess, this was just an interesting post to me. It's from Altcoin Gordon. I don't know if you guys know him or not. I'm wishy-washy on all these guys on X, but it's a good post. Greed versus discipline. Greed, the guy's up 600 bucks, 3K, and then the 3K guy took profit at 3K. The greed guy waited. He's now down, and it's only up 900, and then he's negative 500, negative 1100. That's the whole point. The guy that took profit at 3K has 3K. The guy that is sitting and waiting ended up being negative 1100 bucks. Flexa said, what is Trump talking about, a Bitcoin bill? Is that tomorrow, Wednesday? I don't know about a bill. I know that data is coming out this week for their, I don't even remember what it's called, the crypto report or something like that. Let me see. Trump's crypto push give dollar boost. Nope, nope, nope. Hold on. What am I looking for? Strengthening American leadership in digital finance. White House to drop bombshell report on July 30th. Yeah, so they're dropping their crypto policy report on July 30th is what's coming out tomorrow. Bill, I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, it's a crypto report. He said, can we moon tonight? I think it's all going to be hinged on the FOMC tomorrow, which is probably going to be a nothing burger. But right now, people are probably pricing in something bearish and scary. Or maybe just nothing. Maybe there's people that are getting scared and selling for no reason, like weenies. And most of us are just sitting and waiting, like normal people. Because we're not overexposed and over-leveraged. We got World Liberty Finance spending $1 million USDC to buy 256.75 Ethereum at $38.95. Again, 23 hours ago. This was posted 16 hours ago, so since it's been about like 30 some hours. World Liberty has bought a total of 77,226 Ethereum at an average price of $32.94 with an unrealized profit of $41.7 million. And they are continuing to accumulate. Mr. Roberts said, I'm late. Hello all. What's going on, Mr. Roberts? Happy Tuesday. Bitcoin Archive. I actually really like Bitcoin Archive posts. Highly recommend you guys go follow them. Bitcoin Archive is who gave us our midterm targets towards the end of the year last year. And I gave like frugal ideas of those targets, and we hit all of them. So it was quite impressive. Tom Selleck's Coat said BlackRock filed for ETH staking for the ETF. I do know that. That is in the news as well. Mr. Roberts said, Waters with a win. Hell yeah. Waterfly said, was that strip club, mister? And Brendan Hogan said, I guess, give me chicken. No chicken, my friend. This is a pickle, by the way. It does kind of look like a chicken, like a little wingding, doesn't it? Or not a wingding, it's like the adult chicken nuggets, where they're like kind of like stretched out. They almost look like a chicken leg. All right. Bitcoin Archive official. White House confirms first Bitcoin and crypto report will release tomorrow. The U.S. is going to start stacking sats. That one's for you, DJ Flexa, just so you're aware. This one was really cool. Google's answer to can Bitcoin be stopped? And Google AI said, to even have a chance to stop Bitcoin, every government in the world would have to successfully coordinate simultaneously to shut down the entire internet everywhere and then keep it off forever. Even in that improbable scenario, the Bitcoin network can be communicated over radio signals and mesh networks. Let's freaking go. I want to know, is there any current radio Bitcoin miners operating? Because that would be pretty sick. I don't know if that's what they're talking about or like what the ins and outs of that would be. The idea of it just sounds so cool. Chicken strip. No, it's not. I guess, I don't know. What are they called? Are they called chicken strips? It's not the strip though. It's like the nugget that's shaped like the strip. Chicken strip shaped nuggets. Let me see if I can find it. It's always in like, okay, tenders is what they're called, I guess. But it's always in like the I don't even know if they make them anymore. It's in like the styrofoam plate with the saran wrap over it. It's these ones. It's these ones. Hang on. It's making me download it. It's this. This is what I'm talking about. They're like strips But nuggets, it's not quite a chicken tender or chicken strip. Because when I think chicken strip, I think like the crispy. Like these are strips or tenders to me. They can be, the word strip and tender are interchangeable in my brain. This is like a nugget, but not quite a nugget. Like it's not shaped like a chicken nugget. I guess it is kind of though. This is like a healthy bowel movement nugget. What if I said a sure prize with all? HQZ said you mean chicken strip. Brendan Hogan said OMG I missed a pickle. I really lost out today. Blockchain Bruce said good discount on Ondo. I agree. Brendan Hogan said mining Bitcoin on FM. Mining Bitcoin on Sirius like radio. Imagine you're just tuning through Sirius and then there's just a bunch of like binary being read off. You're like, what the hell is this? People start listening to it manually. One of my favorite memes was I don't remember how it went, but it was something like Chuck Norris is so badass that he mines Bitcoin on a piece of paper with a pencil or something like that. That was so good. Flexa said chicken gigions? Gigion? I don't know what that word is. That's a weird British word. Can be it with a big slice of watermelon after. Ooh, watermelon sounds really good right now. Eat them by the tray / bag. Dude, I remember literally being at my buddy's house. They would have that. I don't remember. It was probably like Purdue or something. But it was like a beige orange styrofoam tray with saran wrap and the nuggets were in it. And I think it went in the freezer. Chicken fingers. It's chicken fingers. Oh, whoa. It's just chicken fingers. Dude, I feel so old now that I couldn't remember that. That's what it is. It's chicken fingers. Thank you. Sinkin Toaster. Great name, by the way. HQZ said strip describes the shape. Nugget also describes... Strip describes the shape. Nugget describes the texture. It's a strugget. Or a nugget. Chicken fingers. Chicken fingers. We've landed on chicken fingers. Brendan Hogan said fried pickles are goated. That's my favorite appetizer. I do love me some fried pickles, dude. Fried cauliflower is really good too. Ooh, delicious. Brendan Hogan said some zesty ranch. I like the runny ranch, man. Any kind of ranch. Anything that you can eat with ranch, I usually just eat majority ranch with whatever the appetizer is, like on the side. The appetizer is a vehicle for ranch for me. I just use it to shovel ranch in my face. Sinkin Toaster said takes bow. Thank you, thank you. Saving the day with chicken fingers. I don't know why nobody else in the chat knew that. You guys are all equally as dumb as I am. Sinkin Toaster is clearly superior. Unverified said, you know the market is boring when people are talking about the nuances of chicken nuggets versus strips with charts. I mean, these are important conversations that we gotta have, you know? We're losing touch. Plum sauce is nice on strips. I don't know if I've ever had plum sauce. HQZ said fried pickles were good in 2015. Dude, I want to get those chicken fingers now, and I want to put them in the air fryer. Ooh, those are probably so good. Mr. Robert said blockchain brew. Okay, good sir. I bought a small bag of Ondo. I'm on the train. Nice. All right, guys, we got some more news to go through. Next, we got Senator Hawley introduces a bill to send $600 tariff rebate to checks to Americans. This is exciting stuff. What's interesting to me is people are like, tariffs are a tax on the American people. And they kind of are, but imagine you can opt out of paying taxes because you don't want to buy a Ferrari or literally anything that's made in another country that needs to be imported to the United States. Does that make sense? If you buy American stuff, you pay no tariff. Imagine you don't pay taxes because you're buying American goods. If they get rid of income tax in lieu of tariffs, or maybe not even income, if they just get rid of sales tax, whatever, they get rid of tax, federal tax, in lieu of tariffs, and that's a viable thing for them to do, the only alternative would be for those businesses to manufacture in America, which would bring more jobs, which would bring more income, which would bring more, I'm sure, some other kind of tax that they're going to keep. But it's just, it's I don't know, it seems like it just makes too much sense to me. Tom Selleck's goat said ranch is greater than ketchup. I feel like almost everything's greater than ketchup. If you told me I could only pick ketchup or mustard, I would pick mustard probably every time. Brendan Hogel said the real question is fried pickled chips or spears. I think I like spears. I've never had chips. The spears just make more sense for dipping. HQZ said we need to start making more stuff here. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's perfect. All right. More news. Ladies and gents. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says Bitcoin is the best form of money ever created. Let's freaking go. BlackRock says crypto stablecoins could strengthen the US dollar dominance. I like that BlackRock says everything like months after everybody else says it. Like in like 2 months, BlackRock is going to come out and say Bitcoin is the best form of money ever created. They just have like a 2-month delay on information and then they regurgitate it themselves and they put their own name behind it, which is cringe. Very cringe. Flexus said, so if there's a Volkswagen plant in America that makes European cars for America, do they pay the tariff? I don't think so. Unless the parts are imported, then Volkswagen pays the tariff to import the parts, and they probably pass that cost onto the consumer. Most American automobile companies are actually manufactured somewhere other than America, and I don't know. It's funny to me because I grew up in a Ford household. My whole family worked at Ford. My dad preached Ford. Everything was Ford. It was literally, it's kind of like a cult. I'm not going to lie. And growing up, as I got older, I'm like, wow, Fords kind of break down a lot. GM breaks down a lot. Chevy breaks down a lot. All these American-made automobiles kind of blow ass. Toyota lasts a really long time. Honda lasts a really long time. That's really weird. It just so happens to turn out Toyota and Honda are manufactured mostly in the United States. I don't know. It's quite a coincidence. Wordify said, I'm curious, JJ, do you own less than or more than 1 Bitcoin? I'm not going to answer that. Wordify. I feel like that's unnecessary information for me to put on the internet. So here, come mug me for the amount of crypto that I have. Or don't have. Allegedly. Flexus said, I hear that. UK used to make a lot of your muscle engines back in the day. Yeah. Yep. Alright, let's see. Next news article. Stanford Chartered Bank says Ethereum treasury companies could buy 10% of all Ethereum. Cool. We got eToro. Awful company, by the way. Horrible. The name is dumb, too. To launch tokenized US stocks on the Ethereum blockchain. Wow. Senator Cynthia Lummis introduces a mortgage reform bill to recognize crypto assets in home loan eligibility assessments. Didn't Bill Pulte just do this? Is that am I incorrect? Watcher Guru said US and China officially agreed to extend 90-day tariff pause. Cool. Watcher Guru SEC acknowledges BlackRock filing to allow staking for its spot Ethereum ETF. Very nice. This one's huge. Very exciting news. United States collected $28 billion in tariff revenue in July, the highest monthly total this year. Crazy. BlackRock says crypto stablecoins are a payment method in the future of finance. Very nice. BlackRock predicts the Federal Reserve will not lower interest rates tomorrow. Michael Saylor's strategy bought 21,021 Bitcoins worth $2.46 billion. 2,000. Wow. HQC said JJ is a Freemason. Of course he has tons of secret money. I'm not a Freemason anymore, guys. I'm just a coffee beanie ghost. Give me a break. I was never a Freemason. I got the hat before the Illuminati was frowned upon, okay? I'm just saying. SEC acknowledges BlackRock's application to include staking in its spot Ethereum ETF. This one cracked me up earlier. Legendary trader Peter Brandt says charts can't accurately predict prices and admits he sometimes trolls XRP and Ethereum bulls just for fun. Look at this man's face. This is a happy man. This dude literally just came on the internet and said, sometimes I just troll XRP and Ethereum bulls for fun. That is freaking hilarious. This is the way that you need to retire. This is the way we all need to retire. Just trolling people in finance. The angry people on the internet. Literally anyone that has like the time to be angry on the internet, I don't know. They deserve to have their time wasted. It's cracks me up. It cracks me up. Don't ever go on Reddit. If you're ever in a good mood, don't go on Reddit, dude. Even if you're nice. Like if you go on Reddit and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm cancer free and I bought a home, they'll be like, I hope you get cancer again, you fucking idiot. And you're like, what the fuck? Why? And then they're like, fuck you, faggot. And you're like, whoa! They're so mad on Reddit. It's the craziest thing in the world to me, dude. And it's completely unprompted. It kind of cracks me up. But I think Bitcoin is the best example of that. There's literally a whole subreddit dedicated to clowning on Bitcoin. And they've missed the boat so hard. Bitcoin is literally $117,000 right now. You got it, like, you have to remove yourself from that page. Save yourself the embarrassment of even being associated with that page at this point. It's so cringy. Lexa said he looks like a bot. HQZ said, I don't see why we can't just strap solar panels on top of our cars. I think people have tried that. It's not efficient. Like, it'll work over time. Somebody else, there was a guy that put a wind turbine on his car for, like, when it was parked that he lives out of. I thought that was really cool. Renewable energy is definitely coming a long way. And I think, I hate to say it, I think Elon is at the forefront of that because the big three were like, oh, electric cars aren't viable. They are. You just have to manufacture them. They didn't want to put the time and effort into manufacturing electric cars because they were already kitted to make combustion engines. So why, if it's not broke, don't fix it. It was one of those situations. And then Elon started taking over the scene and they had a big hissy fit. That's also kind of funny to me, that whole situation. Lexa said X comments are full of psychos as well. Yeah, I feel like the people on X, and maybe Reddit's a little bit different now because they have revenue, but on X it's kind of lucrative. When you get like two people start going at it in your replies, you're like, ooh, I'm gonna make some money. Because they don't stop, dude. They're like attack dogs. For like days on end, you're just getting alerts from these two going, they're like, well, you're just a fucking idiot. Well, you're a moron. Your mom never loved you. Your dad cheated on your mom because she's a whore. And they literally go back and forth like that for like days. And you're completely detached from the conversation at this point. Just strictly watching this back and forth. And it's hilarious how much time these people waste on each other. What if I said Reddit made sense to me 10 years ago? Now it's mostly bots. That probably is the case for majority of the internet. The dead internet theory is very interesting to me because people pay a lot of money for advertising on the internet as well. So imagine you're paying for like millions of views and 90% of those views are bots. And they're not even views from the bot. The bot doesn't pay attention to your advertisement. It doesn't reference it later to click on it. The bot just does whatever it's doing and, it puts spam posts underneath everyone's everything, trying to sell some crappy sandals, Flexa said nuclear energy is viable. That too. Chernobyl is a great propaganda piece for the energy companies that are anti-nuclear. Reddit was good 10 years ago. Secret Santa was great on Reddit. Flexa said nuclear energy is viable. Brennan Hilgen said they tried to kill the man who made gasoline out of plastic. Don't F with big oil. I saw that actually. His mom just said that he was laying low. Like he's okay, but he's laying low for security reasons. That's kind of crazy. Flexa said when you make your platform earn for engagement, it turns into crap. All you see is rage bait, clickbait, and everyone copying the same posts and subtle rewording. The copy paste is kind of funny to me. In crypto specifically, maybe specifically in Cardano. I like to do it and just change the words to make it not make any sense. Flexa said all the Sydney Sweeney psyops is nuts at the moment. Greatest ad campaign of all time, by the way. Greatest ad campaign of all time. People are enraged. They're like, a mildly related Nazi thing? Something that is slightly related to something that the Nazis did? Oh my gosh! Because the poor chick has blonde hair. And they said that she had good genes. And maybe it is malicious, maybe it's not. Who cares? My kid sees that ad. My kid is not going to go, we should kill people that aren't blonde hair and blue eyes. My kid's going to go, those are nice genes. talking about the pants. Nobody's ever going to see that ad and go, we should kill Jewish people. That's not a thing. That's not a thing that's happening. Relax. Even if it is propaganda, nobody gives a crap. But it's not. You're not a victim. Nobody actually cares about your feelings. We got Cointelegraph posting Google searches for stablecoins hit an all-time high. They also specify this is bullish. This is kind of funny to me. I don't understand why stablecoin searches at an all-time high is bullish. But I get it. Brendan Hogan said good genes is a polite way to say I'd hit that. Exactly. Flexen said banned. I know, I gotta be careful. Wardify said, trust me, I'm looking for her body. Dude, I'm slowly becoming more and more woke just because I've peer reviewed that ad several times to see if it is Nazi propaganda. I've watched it closely, like each individual pixel. I still have a long ways to go. Several rewatches are in the works, but I will continue to observe and get back to you guys on whether or not it is Nazi propaganda through my extensive research and observation. Tom Selleck's coach said good genes is referring to her ginormous honkers. I know. I agree. That's what I thought too. Very good genes. Huge genes. The biggest genes. Bitmine Immersion, BMNR, announces $1 billion stock repurchase program amid $2.77 billion in crypto and cash reserves. Exciting stuff. Her hair on her head is racist. She's white. Right? Ethereum open interest dominance nears 40%, its highest since April 2023, signaling a shift in speculative focus from Bitcoin to Ethereum. There you go. What if I said stop saying the N-word, dumbass? I can't say the N-word. Is that an N-word? There's several N-words, I just realized. Next we got Brendan Hogan said giant yonkers and peace could cause world peace. Yeah, that's why they're pissed. That's why they're pissed, dude. The ad campaign was like making people forget that we hated each other. So somebody else had to be like, this is World War II propaganda. I can't say the N-word anymore. Waterfly got mad at me. This is World War II propaganda. Colin Talks Crypto. This I thought was good advice. Making money doesn't care about people's feelings. It doesn't care about your biases, nor your emotional attachments, or whether or not you think that advertisement for jeans, for clothing, has anything to do with, what did they call it? Eugenics. Relax. Planned Parenthood. Those are the same people, dude. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to get in trouble. Thank you, Waterfly, for telling me to shut the hell up. Jack Mallers called it. The government using the institutions, Wall Street, will run Bitcoin up as high as they can because this will require equal amounts of stablecoin, which means equal amounts of U.S. treasuries, aka debt. Let's watch this play out. Guys, I've been saying this for a little while as well. Don't say no. Always tell women that no means yes. So, where was I going with this? The stablecoins and... Okay, so if you think about it, there isn't actually $1 for every $1 worth of stablecoin. All we have to do is inflate the price of these assets, and then the stablecoins can be used to basically copy paste this asset value and literally double the money supply without actually inflating the M2 money supply. Does that make sense? That's literally what they're doing. That's why they're freaking out. They're like, stablecoins are amazing. They're great. We love stablecoins. Because the stablecoins don't add to the global money supply. It's like a third-party monetary system. And they're realizing, oh, if there's this third-party monetary system that we legalize, there's just going to be more money. It's that easy. Because I can tell you right now, the way that market cap works is like the math to get to the market cap is all that it is. It's just math. There isn't actually 2.34 trillion US dollars sitting in some stablecoin vault somewhere in exchange for all of this Bitcoin that people have bought and sold. There's nowhere near that amount of money. This is just what people are willing to pay. So if no one is selling their Bitcoin right now, and then Waterfly puts one Bitcoin up for sale for $200,000, $230,000, and I buy it for $230,000, nobody else is selling their Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin would go up to $230,000. The market cap would go to basically $5 trillion, and the only amount of money that was actually spent on it was $230,000. Does that make sense? So take that now. Now you have your Bitcoin in your Tether treasury, and it just doubled in value. You now have double the amount of like USDT minting power. You can just double your money now because the asset's worth that much at the moment. It's kind of trippy to think about. In trying to create a immutable monetary system, Satoshi accidentally gave the government the tools to create a truly infinite money printer system, which leverages his real hard money. That's kind of crazy. I didn't even really think about that. That's crazy to think about. Flexa said, Unverified said, nuclear power plants are statistically pretty safe. They're hard to have on major scale because the issue of transportation of nuclear materials and waste. Yes. I believe that they've made it way safer since Chernobyl as well, but because of all of the current energy companies not wanting to worry about transitioning or whatever the hell they, it's that same situation as the big three with electric cars. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're just gonna continue the propaganda of like, oh well, nuclear energy is not safe and it's unclean, and you have to worry about scaling issues because of transportation of nuclear materials and waste. So we don't think it's viable, and they're just gonna continue to propagandize the masses when it comes to stuff like that. Flexa said, all they are doing is making it all digital. It's like a shitcoin that's getting a new token along those lines. What's backing anything? F all. Exactly. That's what cracks me up too. People are like, Bitcoin has no inherent value. It's just worth what the next guy's willing to pay for it. That's the dollar. That is the dollar. That is why the dollar has inflated so much, because people aren't willing to give you as much for it anymore that they were willing to give you 100 years ago. That is literally money. That is money. All money is made up. It's fake. Flexa said, we've seen crappy crypto projects do this. They launch a new token when the first one is failing. Majority of the world will be using some form of digital dollar, and it will be getting shit yields because they missed the early Bitcoin and valuable asset trains. Sucks to be them. Stack the good shit while you can. Top Salt Scope said nuclear waste is pretty minimal, and it's all about the small nuclear reactors now, like what Oklo is doing. Is Oklo a stock that I should buy? I would love to get some nuclear stocks. I think I have a couple. I don't remember. Congratulations, Waterfly, once again on your victory. Bitcoin dominance, 61.55. Yeah, we're probably heading up to 62 minimum. Bitcoin down 0.3% since the daily close, currently trading at 117.580. Continuing our news, we got Stock Money Lizards posting. Every time I post about fair value gaps or CME gaps here after strong pumps, people take it really personally, as if they were to say, are you saying I just bought the top? Can't be. The reality is fair value gaps usually create a vacuum. A lot of liquidity and limit orders lie here. Big money usually drives the price. Sure, there are runaway gaps, and I'm loaded with Bitcoin, so I don't need prices to retrace. But the truth is, these fair value gaps get filled in the majority of cases. Often the gap is partially filled, coinciding with major fib retracement levels 382, 550, and 61.8. Every pump has its retracements. Embrace them, place limits, don't buy the top, and go around blaming people for that. The pump is strong, and This is not the end. We will go higher. DYOR NFA. I like that. I also like don't buy the top and go around blaming people. That's my whole favorite thing, is when people are like, hey man, can you help me with this, and that? And then you're like, yeah. And you give them some advice. Not financial advice, of course. And then they come back and they're like, oh, I bought this because of you and I lost all my money. When you specifically tell them, don't put all of your money in this because you could lose it. And they're like, I don't care. I'm just going to buy it. It's going to go up. And then it goes boop. And then they lose all their money. And you're like, what the heck, man? That's why, unfortunately, I have to be very political when people ask any questions about anything. But I'm okay with that. If that's what I got to say, then that's what I got to say. People got to learn the right way. You know, one way or another. I will happily be the guy that tells it how it is. Next, we got 15 years ago today. This one's great. Satoshi Nakamoto said, if you don't believe me or don't get it, I don't have time to try to convince you. Sorry. Today, Bitcoin is now a global currency and store of value. What a freaking legend. If he's not alive today, he's even more of a legend. But if he is, I hope that he's able to see this, to witness this, because this is freaking awesome. If he is an individual and not like the FBI or whatever. Island Steve said FOMC meeting with dump this to 14.5. You think we're going to 14.5? Let's put that up here. I'll take it. 114.5. I can't read. All right, I'll take it. What color do you want to be, Island Steve? I'm going to make you purple. Alexa said price predictions are not financial advice. Let me ask some random guy on YouTube where and how I should invest my life savings. Exactly, dude. The Hawk girl was my favorite, dude. Like, you're going to lose your life savings on blowjob coin? That's because you invested in blowjob coin, bro. Island Steve said, yep, 114.5 area, pretty sure. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. I like putting input on the charts. Anybody else got any ideas? We have everyone's top predictions. We got Oak Tree, Waterfly, Mr. Roberts, and Tyler. Mine we've hit already. Mine was 120. And I like I said, I'll happily be wrong. I've been holding that since, I think, December. Tom Selleck's Code said Nux is more European nuclear. I am big on nuclear and drone stocks. All right, you gave me a list earlier. You said Oklo, SMR, and NE are all nuclear stocks I own. Up a ton this year? Dang. Okay. Random guy on YouTube or Jim Cramer. Pick your fighter, right? I think I'd pick random guy on YouTube before Jim Cramer. Mr. Roberts said, I'm totally going to call out the blockchain brew if my Ondo bag blows. Full on financial advice. Oh, that's good. Blowjob coin, huh? I never gave a top prediction. What do you got? What do you got, Flexa? I'm talking about Haktua. Actually, yeah, we gotta go to Deck Screener and check Pengu because they launched some trading card game today. Let's check Haktua first. Ah, Pengu's down 8%. What the heck? Let's see. Pythia's been flying, dude. And where's Haktua? What's it even called? I forget what it's called. Oh, it's just called Hawk. It's still at 2.5 million market cap. That's actually crazy to me that it's still at 2.5 million market cap. What if I said, yeah, too late to get into nuclear stocks? We made our money. Well, that's a shame. There's just, in my opinion, Waterfly, when you say stuff like that, it makes me want to not own any stocks at all. Because what other industry is going to be up and coming next? Healthcare is screwed. Gaming has always been trash. Tech is way too topped out. Flexus said, I'm so glad you read the out like the meme. Did I? Oh. Blowjob coin, huh? Pengu. Dude, Pengu's just ripping, dude. I don't know. I might buy more of this just because. And then Pythia, this one was just out of nowhere. Just flew. I have a considerable amount of this from a viewer, I think. Somebody sent me this, and I've held onto it. And it just ripped, man. Who was that? He used to come here all the time. Did it start with a J? I don't remember, man. Steve said, poor Pengu, it never had a chance. What do you mean? Pengu's been doing great. Don't say things like that. What the F is Pythia? It's a rat. So Pythia, I believe, is specifically like based on this rat that has some like brain module in its head. And it's an actual rat. They put like some brain chip in it or something. But dude, it flew. This thing went crazy. From right around here, it's up 200%, give or take. From the bottom, like I'll go to the median of the bottom. 630%. That's awesome. What said healthcare not screwed? Aging world population. Yeah, but they're gonna come out with something that doesn't require some crap. I don't know. I got my opinions. My opinions are bad, Waterfly. I had a freaking I had a hydrogen portfolio like a year ago. Don't ask me about stocks. I did really good with Roblox and Reddit, but I sold them early like an idiot and I missed out on like 600%, so take your profits, man. Nah, I'm gonna leave it. Probably some AI agents pumping it. I don't think so. Who knows though? Island Steve said it's a rat with a chip. I don't get it. I don't get it either. It's a little more intuitive than Fartcoin, but it is what it is. What if I said depends on time horizon, Tom? Tom said healthcare stocks have done horrible this year. That's true. Mr. Roberts said GEV is also good nuclear stock. GE separated out their energy portfolio to be GEV a little over a year ago. What if I said buy and hold great Oppo? Okay. We'll have to build a stock portfolio soon. I wonder, is that available here? Live Coin Watch? Probably not. We'll see though. All right. We're still going through our news, guys. We got altcoins about to break out of this massive cup and handle pattern. No one is bullish enough all season. I will say the market has been incredibly bearish at every given opportunity. The price goes down a little bit. Everyone's like, double top, triple top, 2020, all over again. Bull market's over. And every time I hear somebody say that, my brain goes, bull market? Where? And then they're like, Bitcoin's been in a bull market. Well, yeah. But you could also, like I've been saying, could argue that Bitcoin has just reached a fair market value. And the bull market has yet to come. It's all based on opinion. So to say the bull market's over right now, kind of silly. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe the bull market is over, but I don't think so. And sometimes I'm right. All right, next we got... Ooh, this one's really cool. So this is a video. The dominance of altcoins in the market from 2020 up until 2025. This is a cool video. Ready? We got XRP up top, Chainlink, Bitcoin Cash, BNB, Polkadot, Litecoin, Cardano making its way, Bitcoin SV, EOS, Stellar, Monero, Tron, NEM, Tezos. Okay, Cardano number 1, BNB number 1, XRP working its way, Cardano number 2, Doge number 3, XRP number 4, Polkadot. I think I can make this bigger for you guys. Record 900 million NFT sale. Shiba joins the top 20. BNB flying, followed by Solana and Cardano, XRP, Terra Luna, Avalanche, Polkadot. This is the ecosystem run of 2021. Terra Luna collapse. We got BNB, XRP, and Cardano duking it out. Solana, Dogecoin, Polkadot, XRP consuming more and more market share as time goes on. December 2022, XRP is still doing great. Cardano falling behind. Polygon making its way up. BNB still flying. XRP officially flips BNB. BNB flips XRP. Doge flips Cardano. Cardano flips Doge. Solana flips both. XRP, Solana, BNB. Solana number 2. We're in 2024 right now. BNB and Solana flying. XRP is in 3rd. Toncoin comes out of nowhere, scams a bunch of people. Solana catching up, falling behind. Toncoin begins to fall because they've extracted the maximum amount of liquidity. XRP flying, now number 1, followed by BNB, Solana, Dogecoin, Cardano. We're in April 2025. Cardano and Tron duking it out. Hyperliquid inching into the top 10. Stellar, So as of July 2025, we got XRP, BNB, Solana, Dogecoin, Tron, Cardano, Hyperliquid, Stellar, Sui, Chainlink, HBAR, Bitcoin Cash, Avalanche, Leo, Shiba Inu, Toncoin, Litecoin, Polkadot, Monero, and Uniswap. This is a super cool illustration. Dude, Tron cracks me up. I'm so glad somebody else laughed at that. Tron cracks me up. Tron is literally Toncoin. Or Ohm. Does anybody remember Ohm? This collapsed and everybody was like, oh my gosh, this collapsed. And then nobody gave a crap after that. Everybody just completely forgot about it. And it was a scam, unfortunately. Not in a malicious way, I don't think. I think that they got a little too excited, a little too carried away with their leverage. They were essentially like leveraging, I don't even know what they were leveraging. They had additional funds that they acquired somewhere, and they used it to pump the price. They pumped the price up here, and then it chopped sideways. It went up organically, chopped sideways, and then they got a little impatient. They pumped the price up here, and then it chopped sideways. They got impatient, pumped the price up, sideways, pumped the price up, organic dump, chop. Someone who accumulated, probably during all of this, sold an enormous amount. And it literally resulted in this is the daily chart, in an 83% negative candle. Because they got way too carried away, artificially inflating the price. You remember I explained earlier about the Bitcoin thing? Let's say there's two sellers of Ohm one of them is selling a bunch at $3 and the other one's selling a bunch at $8. And you go to buy. You're going to buy up all the $3 ones, and then I go to buy. I'm going to buy up all the $10 ones. Then suddenly the price is at $10. Out of nowhere. And then Joe Blow, who bought way the heck down here, looks at his own portfolio, and he's like, oh my gosh, this is worth $20 million, or whatever, insane amount of money. And he just one clips his entire bag, and because there's no liquidity, there's no buy orders, the price goes to freaking zero. Look at all this volume. Look at all this volume compared. Look at the comparison. There's no buyers here. All of this is artificial inflation, and then actual price action. That's insane. So, and nobody cares. Nobody's looking into it. There's no investigation. I think it's shady what they did. And if I was one of those people that lost money because some asshole did that, obviously it's my fault, but maybe I take it personal. Maybe I take it a little too personal one day. And I don't want to be in that position to where I would have to answer for something like that. People losing millions of dollars? No thanks. Brendan said people calling bull market have never seen a real bull crypto. Exactly. Retail was cooked last bear market. That's why they're all non-believers. They're not even here anymore, dude. Retail's gone. AMD's still green for me. Gonna get a few more. Yeah, I'm gonna keep accumulating. Brendan Hilgan, yep. Island Steve said retail lost all their money buying altcoins, buying shit coins last bear cycle. Yeah. Luna. Oh man, Luna. XRP going places. Mr. Robert said that chart animation gives me the effing creeps. Looks like a nest of spiders moving around. I have a soft spot for spiders. I've had several pet spiders in the last 10 years, Mr. Roberts. Lexa said BNB has been insane. Yeah, the BNB is unstoppable. And I think it's because people know that CZ is like a beast. Tron cracks me up. Flexa said, LMFAO, would you feel bad if you collapse something 83% because you got in early? That shit would be funny as F. Someone's got to lose, man. JJ gonna go postal. I'm just saying, man. I got some respect for Luigi. That's all I'll say. And United Health is now getting in trouble for insurance fraud, which is freaking hilarious. Island Steve said, "What's your trade? You long or short?" I'm not in a trade right now. Pre FOMC, I'm kind of a wussy. Flexa said SBF could be that one to get it from some random. Exactly. He's getting it from Diddy right now. Okay. Last but not least, news. There's been a big divergence in performance between Bitcoin and altcoins since 2023. Bitcoin, 600% rally. Altcoins, 250% rally. This could be about to change massively. Don't tell Ben Cowan. But yeah, this is correct. It's going to be exciting to see if we flip. Exciting times ahead, ladies and gents. And Steve said probably best. Going to be a lot of fake out and long wicks soon. Yeah. Yeah, I take this time to I like to take advantage of the really emotional driven dips. People get really worked up. They're like, oh, FOMC, and they dump all their bags and the price goes down like 15% in a day. I scoop that shit up. Flexa said, bro went from embezzling crypto to dealing sardines. He's like, dude, I got 50 honey buns with your name on it. They're like, where are they at? He's like, they're on paper right now. I don't actually have them in my possession, but I can get them as soon as you make the trade, as soon as you make the deal. Caroline, I need you to add to my commissary. Do you remember my JPay? No, it's not okay. I can't wait. These guys are expecting their honey buns tomorrow. I need those honey buns. I can't do Swiss cake rolls. They want honey buns. They don't like chocolate. Did you send the ramen? No, it can't be the cup noodle. It has to be the brick. Dude, I can't imagine SBF's meetings in prison. What do they consist of? He's like, hey, do you guys know how leverage works? It's like sitting in a circle of all the inmates. Let me tell you about leverage. They're all like, so you just make shit up? He's like, yeah, essentially. Brennan Hilligan said, honey buns are my commissary of choice, and Fruity Pebbles. My buddy sent me a whole box of commissary one time. I opened it up and I was like, what the fuck is this? It was nice of him, you know. I'm sure he paid a lot of money for it, but I just thought it was really funny. I opened it up. There's like a bunch of fucking Uncle Ben's chips and shit. And I was like, what the hell? Oh, good times. Good times. Fucking spending $20 to talk to him on the phone. Damn. Don't go to jail, guys. That shit's expensive. It makes people resent you. Calling him all the time. I liked it when he would call me, and then he would where it would tell you to say your name, he would give me a message. So instead of it being like, you're receiving a call from John Smith, it would be like, you're receiving a call from, and he'll be like, answer the phone, dude. You gotta pay to answer the phone. I gotta tell you something. Or like, don't answer the phone. Call my brother and tell him to call me. That was good shit, dude. Good shit. Fun times, fun times. Bitcoin 117, 730, and 60 cents. I'm gonna do it. Waterfly said jail not bad. Prison sucks. Flexa said over here you can have your PS5 and stereo, and your TV has free view like 100 channels. Brendan Hilgan said commissary is amazing when you're in, but when you're out it makes you feel like shit. That stuff is on the shelf for $1 at Wally World, right? Holiday camps. Dude, I legit, I saw a French prison cell tour, like on X the other day. It looked like a sick little, like, dorm. I was like, damn, people probably go to prison on purpose in France. It looked pretty sick, actually. I was like, ooh, this would, like, you need a little break from the family? What's the least harsh crime you can get prison time for? In France. Probably something Canadian as fuck, like mischief. Mischief is my favorite crime. It's too funny, man. I wonder, in like Ireland or Scotland, if instead of mischief, you can get in trouble for shenanigans. Alright, let's see. Anything? Arrows up 0.37%. Silver's trying to do something. Not really. Nothing's doing nothing, man. It's always like this. Literally yesterday, as soon as I got off the stream, the market started pumping. I was like, son of a bitch. Insult French cheese equals prison. Do they have... Are they nerdy about their cheese over there? I thought it was just bread. They also smoke fags. Did you know that? I'm 50% French. That's a crazy thing to say. After saying they smoke fags. Island Steve said, why do you have a chicken strip nugget on the screen? Everyone keeps saying that. First of all, it would be a chicken finger. Second of all, it's not. It is a fried pickle. It is definitely... I could see where people would think it was a chicken strip or chicken finger. but it is a fried pickle. And that was the daily close prize. Waterfly won bragging rights and a fried pickle. And he decided to share it with the whole class. So imagine it's cut into equally sized pieces. It's going to be a little bit bigger over here so that they're all the same weight. And maybe we cut it down the middle as well. And everybody gets a little help yourself. We do not have toothpicks though. That was not in the budget for today's episode. We were not expecting Waterfly to share, or the winner to share in general. Brennan Hilgan said, to be honest, it looks like chicken fried steak. It looks like they put too much breading on it. You can see the pickle part right here. Like a little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of pickle exposure. See? It's clearly pickle. You can clearly see the pickle. Observe. The Eastern, I guess. Weirdos dehydrate cucumbers and fry them. Have you ever had fried cucumber, Plexa? Dude, fried cucumber. Ooh. Fried pickle, fried cucumber. I think they're the same thing. Fried zucchini. Fried zucchini is my favorite. Take fried zucchini any day. Oh. Alright, fellas. Been watching Squid Game on the final season right now. Wow. We just finished the second episode. So much shit went down in that episode. I'm watching it with my daughter. She freaked out. She was like, what the hell is going on? Because so much, I don't want to spoil anything, but so much stuff happened. And I was like exhausted by the end of it. I like hit menu when the episode was over, and it shows episode 2, and the bars like played all the way through. I was like, wow, that was only the second episode. Dude, it was crazy. Brendan Hogan said, all my chicken fried steak has mold, so that checks out. Ew. Alexa said, I have had fried eggplant, not pickle. Waterfly said, I'm old and moldy, so checks out here, Brandon. I got a funny eggplant story that I'll probably save it. I told you guys recently. Alexa has not heard it yet, though. Actually, I'll tell it right now. It's fun. So, there's a meme coin on Cardano called Dong, and it's an eggplant. It's the eggplant emoji, and this is their little mascot logo guy. His name's Dong Julio. So I'm good buddies with like the founder guys, and they were like, we want to send you some stickers. So I had them sent to my mom's because my mail goes in the wrong mailbox all the time. So we're in a Twitter space, and I just remembered, I'm like, oh shoot, I got those stickers going to my mom's. So I text my mother while I'm on the space with these guys. I go, I'm looking for a letter in the mail with stickers in it. She goes, it's here. And then she calls me, and I answer the phone. She's like, she sent me a picture too. My stepdad opened the envelope. He never ever opens anyone's mail. This time he thought it was his. He opens it up, and he looks, and he's like, what the hell? And he's got them all spread throughout the entire counter. There's like 20 of them, and they're all the same, but they're just spread throughout the counter. And he just left it there. He realized it was mine, but he left it there. And he sits in and my mom gets home, and she comes in the kitchen. She goes, who the hell is sending you these penis stickers? And I start cracking up. And my stepdad goes, those are J's. And she's like, what the fuck? And she's freaking out. She's looking at it. And then she's texting me all this. And she goes, who's sending you Italian penis stickers? And I was like, what? She's like, you know what the eggplant emoji is, right? And I was like, yeah, it's a dick. And she's like, it's an Italian penis. And I'm like, why is it Italian? I have no clue why she thinks it's Italian. She still, to this day, insists that it's Italian because eggplant is an Italian vegetable. I don't think it is. And I've surveyed, I've asked everyone around the family, friends. I've shown them Dong Julio, the thing, because I was like, maybe it's like the glasses or something. This dude does not look Italian at all. Everyone has said a different. I legit go up to my family members. I'm like, what ethnicity do you think this is? And they say something different every single time, and we're cracking up about it. And then my stepsister. So I'm telling that story at a different like family event, And my mom's telling her part, whatever, and we're cracking up. And my stepsister, no joke, goes, "Do Italians have purple penises?" And we just lost it, dude. It was, my family's fucked up. It's not even called an eggplant after all. What's it called? Aubergine? It's a weird word. But yeah, dude, we were cracking up. So I read that whole text exchange during the space. We were dying, dude. It was hilarious. But yeah, that's my family. Oh man. Word Waterfly said, "I've heard this story. Good night, all. Take it easy, Waterfly. Appreciate you for stopping by. Happy Tuesday, my friend. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for smashing the like button." Probably gonna call it an evening as well, guys. Hit me up in the Discord if you want to chill. I think I'm gonna start when I had purple pussy eater. I think I'm gonna start working on another video. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go check out my latest upload. I went on a date with an AI girlfriend, so you don't have to. It was a lot of fun, but I'm gonna see if I can obtain different results this time around. See what we can get. So, anyways, I appreciate you guys for stopping by. As always, if Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for smashing the like button. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining the Discord. Thank you for ringing the bell. Thank you for being a friend. Flex said I will get my old phone and get my account back. Peace, peace. Take it easy, guys. Good night.